Greetings, everyone. A very warm welcome to another edition of Exhausted to Extraordinary, a mindset hack series with me, Dr. Sharon Grossman. And today I'm joined by Dr. Shane Creado. A very warm welcome to you from Miami Beach, Shane. And tell us what you're up to these days.
Thank you so much for having me, Sharon. I am currently in a very busy practice. I work at Amen Clinics in Chicago doing brain health. So I do psychiatry, integrative psychiatry, brain health, and I also work with the International Society for Sports Psychiatry on its board. And I'm affiliated with sports psychiatry organizations, including the US Olympic Committee, the NBA Players Association, the PGA Tour Europe, in working on optimizing athletes' performances using brain health strategies, psychiatric tools, as well as sleep optimization. And I'm the author of Peak Sleep Performance for Athletes that we published last year.
Wow, you read the entire bio for me. So, but before we started recording, you were sharing with me a little bit about your travel plans. Maybe you can tell us what you're doing now that it's a little bit cold in Chicago.
Oh, I'll be heading away. I'll be heading to the Mediterranean and working remotely for a couple of months. And I'll be working with my patients online, which is really convenient for them and for me. And in the free time that I have there, besides sitting by the beach, I will be working on collaborating with a sleep tech company to work on sleep algorithms that I create, and then use AI to kind of use them to precision drive certain strategies to boost sleep and performance.
Fantastic. So I love the idea of working to enhance performance while at the same time enjoying life and seeing the world. Now, if you are interested in improving your sleep, Shane's going to share with us how to optimize your sleep as a cornerstone of brain health and have your productivity skyrocket all in 7 minutes. And Dr. Shane, your timer starts now. Question number 1 is, what are the biggest challenges your ideal client faces?
They face overdoing it when it comes to sleep, because my ideal clients tend to be really high functioning people, really motivated to affect change in their lives, CEOs, athletes. However, with sleep, it's about retraining your brain and actually about letting go. So within the framework that I help establish for individual clients on retraining their brain on how to sleep correctly, people often try too hard. And that's the surefire way to wake your brain up. So it's about letting go and following the process rather than focusing on outcome goals. That's the biggest challenge.
Yeah, I know a lot of times people have that when they wake up in the middle of the night and they're like, oh my God, I'm not going to get enough sleep. And then they start to worry, and that keeps them up even longer.
Exactly. They actually train their brains like Pavlov did with the dogs and the bell and the saliva.
Yeah.
Exactly what happens. Classical conditioning.
Yeah. So question number 2, what are the typical symptoms that they experience with that problem? You've got 5 minutes and 49 seconds.
Oh, plenty of time. So it depends on how we look at sleep. So I look at insomnia not as a lack of sleep, but an excessive wakefulness of the brain. So if the brain is in danger mode or awake or worried, it is incompatible with sleep, because Sharon, sleeping is the most vulnerable thing that we can do. So when you are worried, when you are in danger mode, your sleep will be disrupted. Another factor is, it's not just how much sleep you get, but also the timing and the quality of sleep that you're getting. So I always want to make sure that people's timings of sleep are set in stone. A fixed wake-up time is really, really important, because if you don't have a fixed wake-up time, or you sleep in on the weekends, essentially, you push your brain into jet lag mode. So then you're going between 2 or 3 different time zones in the course of a given week. That can really sabotage people's rhythms. In terms of quantity of sleep, I'm concerned about sleep cycles, not necessarily hours of sleep. One size does not fit all. Most kids need way more sleep than the average adult. Most of my elite athletes need way more sleep than the average adult. So I calculate sleep in terms of sleep cycles of 90 minutes each. So if you're an average adult who's not really training as an athlete 3 or 4 hours a day, then you might need between 6 hours of sleep or 4 sleep cycles, to 9 hours of sleep or 6 sleep cycles. It really depends on the individual. So fixed wake up time, like say 7:30 a.m. And if you're the average adult, you might need 7.5 hours. So looking at a sleep time of 12 a.m. and a winding down routine starting an hour before that at 11 p.m., for example.
Mhm.
That leads to the third factor when it comes to sleep, qualitative issues. I want to make sure that you're just not knocked out with some harmful medicine, but in fact, your brain is getting the right amounts of deep sleep and dream sleep to consolidate those gains, and you're waking up refreshed, not waking up feeling like you've been hit by a truck. So those are the areas we need to focus on when it comes to looking at truly optimizing one's sleep. And deep sleep can be improved by certain things. Dream sleep can be improved by certain strategies. Certain medicines and supplements can also disrupt those rhythms. So people might say, well, I'm getting sleep now, doc, but I'm waking up terrible. I'm feeling
Mm.
awful. I'm dragging through the day. It's often because those sleep medicines are not the best choice for them. Most of my practice, Sharon, involves actually having people come off those medicines and having the right amounts of supplements and strategies to coax their brains into optimal sleep. It's a big issue in this country. Over 70 million people in this country suffer from sleep issues, and
Wow.
35% of adults, 69% of high school students as well.
Wow. That's crazy. Unbelievable. So question number 3 is, what are the
Yeah.
common mistakes they make when trying to solve that problem? It sounds like maybe it's going for those medications. You've got 2 minutes and 25 seconds.
All right. So some of the common mistakes are melatonin, over-the-counter Tylenol PM, Advil PM, and all that other rubbish. It's really dangerous, in fact, because with the long-term use of those medicines, they also block an neurotransmitter called acetylcholine, which is actually a memory neurotransmitter. So they're associated with memory problems in the long term. Those meds also block histamine, which means they increase your restless leg syndrome if you have it. So
Mm.
they disrupt the quality of your sleep, and they can also cause memory problems in the long term. Melatonin is also medicated very wrongly. Most people need doses of less than 3 milligrams every day because 3 milligrams boosts your natural melatonin levels to 10 times those of normal levels. You don't need any more than that. And you need to take it 60 to 90 minutes before your desired bedtime melatonin because it's not going to knock you out. It's supposed to nudge your brain into sleepiness, and it's as effective as switching a light bulb off. So it's really important in terms of what information you get and what you're doing about it. With any supplement, with any medicine, there's a specific reason, there's a dosage, there's a duration, there's timing of those meds and supplements, and the quality of the supplements that you are getting. So be very careful where you get your supplements.
That's good advice. So now we're into rapid fire. Question number 4. What would be an example of a transformation that is possible after this challenge is properly diagnosed? You've got 57 seconds.
Okay. So I've had people who are failing high school and college are now getting A's. That's a small example. The cost of the US economy in terms of work performance alone because of sleep issues is around $200 billion each year.
Wow.
When we add to the risk of ADHD, cholesterol issues, diabetes issues, immune system deficits, dementia, cancer risk, heart attack, stroke, sudden death, all directly related to sleep. Now we know that sleep is a modifiable risk factor for all of those things. So we can reduce, I've actually boosted my testosterone levels within 6 weeks from the 500s to the 800s within 6 weeks with sleep strategies. That's what you can do.
Amazing. So question number 5, what's the number one mindset hack you could give your ideal client to solve that problem? And as quickly as you can do it.
Process goals, forget about the outcomes, and have paradoxical intent. Have fun with this process. Allow yourself to look at it as an adventure and go with the flow.
Love it. And we are out of time, but I know that you are, if you're listening to this and you have some sleep issues, you want to get in on some of Dr. Shane's amazing strategies. And so tell us about that PDF that we're going to provide them with.
Yeah, so the busy brain is not going to allow you to sleep because you're in danger mode. So I'm going to provide everyone listening here today some strategies to wind your brain down, to help it calm down and relax before you prepare for bed.
Amazing. So definitely encourage everybody to grab a copy of that PDF. Thank you so much for sharing that and for being here, telling us about all the things that we're doing wrong and what we need to do it better. There's, I know, so much more that you couldn't fit into these 7 minutes, but I know you've got a book. So we'll put the link to that also in the show notes. And thanks again for being here.
Thanks for checking out the Exhausted to Extraordinary podcast. If you like what we do here, head on over to iTunes to subscribe, like us, and leave us a review. It is very much appreciated. And if you're feeling burned out and want to challenge yourself, take the 7-day Burnout to Your Best Life Bootcamp. Go to 7dayburnouchallenge.com to join for free.